Looking at Russia, because you've also been a very strong advocate of tougher action against Russia, be it from the United States, be it from the European Union, be it from NATO. Now that there is this ceasefire plan and the hope is that it will hold, that probably is the best face-saving way out of this conflict, isn't it, both for Moscow and Kiev in Ukraine?
Vladimir Putin's ambitions were very well known to me and to others. He knew that once Yanukovych left, he had to take Crimea because of Sevastopol. Then he tried the separatists, that didn't work. He armed the separatists, that didn't work. So then he sent in thousands of Russian troops. The fact is that they were slaughtering Ukrainians. There were hundreds killed, thousands in the hospitals. It's terrible. Poroshenko had no choice but to agree to a ceasefire. What is going to happen? I predict to you that it will be another step in Vladimir Putin's strategy to separate eastern Ukraine from Ukraine and perhaps a land bridge to Crimea. No, it's a very bad result. And again, we would not send weapons to the Ukrainians when they were begging for them. We wouldn't even give them intelligence because we didn't want to, quote, provoke Vladimir Putin. By showing weakness, we provoked Vladimir Putin.
Who do you mean by we? The United States? The United States working with the EU?
And of course the Europeans, but I wasn't surprised about the Europeans. I was deeply disappointed in the United States of America when they begged us for defensive weapons and they wouldn't even do that. In fact, it was almost comical. They sent MREs.
Why were you not surprised by the Europeans, you say, not taking sufficiently tough action against
Because
Putin?
they're dependent on Russian energy. It's obvious. It was obvious. And the United States, it was obvious that we weren't going to assist them, and because they don't want to, quote, provoke Vladimir Putin. And there's nothing that provokes Vladimir Putin more than weakness. We have to understand that Vladimir Putin's ambitions are the restoration of the old Russian Empire.
But he has never said, has he, that he wants eastern Ukraine to be incorporated into Russian territory?
What he has said is, well, just a few days ago, he said, I could take Kiev in 2 weeks. But what he has said is that he wants Nova Russia, which is an old czarist phrase, which means he wants eastern Ukraine. He wants to make sure he keeps Crimea, and he would like to see, if he can get away with it, Moldova and the Baltics as well. That's what he wants to see restored. He cannot afford to see a free, democratic, prosperous Ukraine because the Russian people then would like to be like Ukraine.